Financial disclaimer. The information provided in this stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional financial or investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the content presented here is based on our personal opinions and experiences. Investing in stocks and other financial instruments involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. Any investment decisions you make are solely your own responsibility, and you should conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment choices. The content we share on this stream may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Market conditions and financial regulations can change rapidly, and we cannot guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information presented. We do not endorse or promote any specific stocks, companies, or investment strategies. Any actions you take based on the content of this stream are at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses or damages that may occur as a result. Always remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and no investment is guaranteed to be profitable. Make informed decisions and consider your risk tolerance before investing any funds. By accessing and using this stream, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any investment decisions you make as a result of the content presented. You are encouraged to seek advice from qualified financial professionals for personalized guidance. Please invest responsibly, and only with money you can afford to lose.
Hey man, just found the next guaranteed multi-bagger.
Hey man, you found another one? What is it this time?
Come check this out.
Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Redneck Johnny here. I'm just gonna make sure straight away from today that I have not muted myself. Everything seems to be working fine. Yeah, thank you for since last time we have gained a few subscribers, so thank you for everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We are something happened. I don't know what happened, but we got a few subscribers this week, and just thank you for everyone who tunes in, and feel free to use the chat, and so we can start the conversation and get things going here a bit, because I think that will help this stream also to pull up some tickers that you are interested in, and then we can have some discussions around that. But I'm here in my dashboard today. We start in Dash. I have checked the daily already, and I pulled up a few tickers that I found interesting, and I also found something in my tracker sheet that I think I should pull up again. So I have a few tickers already in the fundamentals that I plan to go through. So yeah, let's start here, and I will quickly go through the daily after, and then we can move into the fundamentals. But I saw Tesla. Tesla is big down today, and I think it was because of some future guidance that this year will be a bit more slow than last year. And you can see, you know, Tesla, the stock, it lives a bit its own life, right? So it's very hard to... It's very hard to buy this, I think, but you know, I wish I bought down here in 2018 or something like that. But yeah, a bit bearish right now. You see, many weeks in a row it has fallen, and it took out this last bottom. You can argue like there's a bottom roughly maybe here along that line. So it's below that now, and it's going to be interesting to follow it. Almost a little bit oversold already. So interesting to follow. It's going to be interesting to see where this lands. And maybe if this is your type of investment style, maybe you can get a good entry here at some point, and maybe turn around again. You know, Elon Musk, he knows what he's doing. You can say what you want about Tesla, but he knows what he's doing. So yeah, I just 12%, and I think the news was just like a lower guidance for 2024. Tesla won on a notably lower vehicle volume growth rate in 2024 and did not dole out many specifics with its outlook for 2024. So that's the reason for the drop. 12%. It's a big move for this company. Yeah, interesting. I'm not in Tesla and I don't plan to buy Tesla. I find it hard, a bit like Bitcoin. But 12% is a lot. It catches the eye for sure. I saw natural gas down, palladium down. Other than that, there's some up here in the risk column. So some stuff are up. Netflix almost 3% up. But other than that, I don't. Things didn't catch my eye too much here today. Natural gas, it's interesting that it's down 3%. You know, Dane and I checked this on Saturday, and we saw that the run up here turned around again. And then since then has been a bit bearish, you know. But it needs more time for me to comment on that, I think. But interesting to see that it's down again. Palladium down. What else? Yeah, I don't feel. I rely heavily on my conditional formatting here. So unless anything is broken, it seems like a pretty normal day, except the Tesla one. So yeah, I think I will just move straight into the daily movers. And for people who are new to the stream, I have some color coding here too. The black one means that I have looked at them in the last 3 months, and if they are white, it means I have a tracker sheet as well where I add the companies that I'm interested in to follow a little bit more closely than rest. So if it turns out white here, it means that I've looked at them and they are in my tracker. So that's the color coding here. Other than that, I tend to look at these metrics over here and inside the buys, and I have it sorted right now as a percentage to 52-week low. So all the yellow ones here, they are trading close to the 52-week low right now. And that's normally, it's normally where I find stuff. It's not that I only look at this, it has to have other interesting things as well. But I tend to buy close to the lows. That's just part of my strategy. But that doesn't mean that I always do it. I have also bought way below 52-week low and been successful with that too. But I like when it's trading low, close to that. And then also when I buy, I always use a stop loss. Like I think Dane commented on this last time, but I use a stop loss as well if it drops from my buying price and 10% under that. That's where I have my stop loss. So sometimes I get it gets triggered and I lose out because it can turn around. That has happened in the past, and I missed a pretty good gain. So, but that's just part of it. Yeah, I pulled up head already. I think they are there. Some banks doesn't interest me right now. BSET, home furnishing, we can pull them up. I've looked at them before, but it's been a while. It didn't show up as black here, so it's been more than 3 months. GTN. What is the? You guys watch Snoop Dogg on YouTube? He has a YouTube channel. I think that the name is GTN, isn't it? GTN, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. Always reminds me of his channel when I see that ticker. Yeah, nothing new. I have pulled up, like I said, a few in the past. I looked at this 1 hour ago as well, before the stream, just to prepare a little bit, and I pulled up some stuff I found then. But BSET also, we're gonna do some research on that. So let's just move into the fundamentals then. I think I have everything already. And once again, if you're new to the stream, and once again, if sorry, I just need to check if I'm muted or not. I'm a bit nervous for that now. Sorry, but it's okay. Seems to work everything. I have some scripts, so if I tick this box, it pulls up the ticker, and I can just press them. That's also a script, and the fundamentals get dragged in. And then this button, I press it when I do the research, and that's what makes the color coding in my daily movers. So this like added to the database, and this button here is just to delete all the sheets. So just a little bit if you're new to the sheet and have some questions about how that works. So BSET, yeah. There's something. Seems to be something missing here in my sheet, and I'm not sure what it is. For BSET. Oh, look at the share count. It says 0. So I have a wrong data here. But don't worry, we can try to check it here. %7 up today. Shares outstanding 8 million. Let's say 9 million then. I'm just gonna type in sorry, 9 million. Here I think the data will be a bit more correct now. But of course, then when I have an error, I don't trust this 100%. You can see I have some missing. I can just go off of the 2022 numbers, I think. But they seem to have a little bit of cash, not too levered. I'm not sure if this data is correct, but they seem historically to have been paying a pretty solid dividend, but had some rough years here. If this is correct, the revenue is down. And by the way, this is a furniture company, so in this environment also, I don't know if like the average Joe is spending a lot of money right now on furniture, but that's why the market was a bit bullish from October, right? Because of the rate cuts and stuff like that, like the guidance of that. So maybe 2024 will be a year where that more and more people will have some money to spend on that. But right now, a bit tough environment, and maybe that's why you get this opportunity as well. Trading 19% to 52-week low right now. We can check Seeking Alpha. So far, because the data is a bit off, and like the cash generation here is not super impressive in my opinion. They seem to have control of the debt, so that's good. But I have to lean a bit here on if I find something. They have some news today, so probably they beat the estimation. Yeah. Wasn't too much news, and not too many people talking about it either, but there's a sell article here and a couple of hold ones, so like we also saw maybe a bit like on certain times right now. Yeah, so I think already that I'm just gonna skip this one because I don't see too much. Could bounce tomorrow. It has bounced today, but on an earnings beat. But since my data is a bit off, I'm not confident. And the numbers I did have, I think it needs way more than that. So I'm just gonna move on to PED. So, oil and gas company, Pedevco Corp is an exploration and production company which engage in the acquisition and development of oil and natural gas assets. It focuses on the operation of Permian and Denver Julesburg basins. The company was founded by Frank Ingriselli in September 2000 and is headquartered in Houston, Texas. The Texas company. Straight away, you see the share count has yearly increased, which tells me they are diluting shareholders for the growth. So this is a growth story still, I guess. The multiples and the metrics over here looks decent. I'm not sure why they have so low. The capex is nothing. You can see it's down 9% today, and it's trading actually took out the bottom today. So that's a bit interesting. Look here, bearish. It hasn't even been oversold yet. So this is a bit... last time it was this low was 2018. So that's interesting. And that's also a bit... this is where you need a stop loss if you enter, I think, because who knows where this is going now. But earnings positive slightly. They have no debt, so they have cash. You see here, they have cash on the books. What do they have in excess cash per share? Let me check here. The 3.5 million, which is a decent amount. Short-term debt 0. They have 13 in excess cash. Margins are up. Revenue is up also on the 3-year. And they have even on 7-year average here on operating and free cash flow, it's positive, but only slightly. But look at the share price as well. Like, it's a penny stock, right? 61 cents. So this is not too bad, I think. It's not too bad. Especially with no debt as well. And it seems a bit like, it seems like a well-driven company in my opinion, but I'm leaning like on this data from 2018, you know, the rest is a bit just noise to me. And you can see book a bit up and down, but every year over $1. Operating cash flow, almost positive all the year since then. Same with free cash flow. And then you have the earnings, who has declined a bit, but seems a bit stable now the last 2 years. But of course, this is very risky. This market cap is very low. I'm not usually dealing in too many of companies in that range of market cap. But that doesn't mean that this is not interesting. What I like is the revenue growth. What I like is they have control of the debt and they have positive cash flow generation. And they are trading below book and have cash on the books, you know. So I like all those things. The margin has improved. Also on the single years. But I don't like the dilution here. Look at this. This is pretty heavy dilution in all those years. So what are people saying about this? And look at the insider ownership, 68%. Let's check that first, because that's interesting. Almost 70% is owned by insiders. Wow. They didn't show it. Oh, here they are. Okay, so it's one guy. Simon. He owns 60 million shares. He owns 2/3 of the company. And all insiders included together are 71%. That's high. And of course, this is... let me know in the comments if you know who this is. I've never heard that name before. Apparently this guy. Russian-born American chemist and retired oil industry businessman. Okay, so he should know the space then, right? Here's the website. Global investor and executive with over 40 years experience in the oil industry. Served as the principal of his personal investment company SK Energy from April 2013 until... Hold on, let me zoom in. Until it's blah blah blah. Was an investor, so he has been investing for a long time in the space and has had some companies in the past. Now he owns this company, almost 70% of it. So that's a bit interesting, I think. Obviously a successful investor. So if this is his company, then I wonder when he bought in first time, because like we said, I kind of like a lot in the fundamentals here. And it looks like it looks well driven, that they haven't driven it over the capacity that they can do, you know. And even keep in mind that this is also in the pandemic year, so you have to give them a lot of stuff was down then, you know. But I really don't like the dilution here. We can check seeking if someone is talking about them. No, not very recent. You see, from 2022 and March 2023 is the most recent one. The recent pharma with evolution should result in some development drilling in San Andres. Payouts in 18 months at strip. Not amazing, but okay. So it's a bit like we said, like well driven, but it doesn't scream wow. It has a few things that we like, but risky. Smaller market cap, you know. I also like the high inside ownership, yeah. Low managerial compensation, yeah. And we need to look at the oil prices also, of course. But has there been some insider buying, like actual? Here's that guy. But he bought last year. Pretty big buys too. There's been some selling. Sorry, I'm just reading through this because the name sounded like he's from my country. But I have not heard about him. And sadly, I think it said like he has passed away. So that's maybe why his shares are sold here. But yeah, some selling. He's the one. Look at all the buys. He's buying regularly, and above the price today. You know, even his latest one is almost 90 cents. And who owns this? Like the institutional ownership. That must be him. Yeah. You know, not a lot of names that I was familiar with. But I kind of like them though. It's not bad. I think I'm gonna add them to the tracker. What I like is they have control of the depth. They show up as safe. They are cash. They trade below book. They are positive also on the 7-year average in cash generation. And also earnings the last 2 years has been positive. And right now it took out the bottom for a 52 week. So right now, well, it just adjusted a bit, but it's close to the bottom now. And the upside is 100% almost. And 7% down today. Did we say why it was down? No, I can't see anything here. The Deco is basically Simon Cook's public company. Public hobby. They are well-run operation. Yeah, they are. Small market cap, no leverage, and good cash position. That's what we saw also. I'm gonna add it to the tracker to keep an eye on it. I can't believe that I have muted myself again. Honestly, I don't know what causes it because I have not pressed anything. So I'm not sure, but sorry, my apologies. I'm not sure how long I've been on mute, but I will just continue, I think. I wonder what's going on because I have not pressed anything and yeah, it's a problem I need to figure out. I need to look into this now because cannot have it like that. Let me actually just look into that because I need to look so it doesn't happen again. Hold on, I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think I figured it out. I think I am been so stupid that I have a hotkey, and when I pressed it, I think I am muted myself. But I hope that I didn't do it for a long time. I think I just did it now when I added it to the tracker. But anyways, I will just continue. Anyways, I will. We are learning here. We are learning. Be patient. What I've been saying is a PED looks a bit interesting. I'm gonna add it to the tracker now. I like that they have grown the revenue. I like that they historically have been able to generate cash. They have 2 years now in a row with positive earnings, and they have control of the debt and cash on the books, and they trade below book right now. I like the high insider ownership, and I like that they trade close to the 52-week lows, but it's risky. I don't necessarily like the tiny market cap, and the fact that it trades so close to the 52-week low can also be a negative, because I don't know if it's going to take out the bottom and that it will continue to drop. So if I would enter here, which I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna keep it in the tracker and pay attention to it. But if I would add, I would need to use a stop loss to protect myself a bit. I don't like the dilution, and I saw they have some kind of deal, but it's a bit of a long time ago. So yeah, I'm just gonna add it based on what I see there, and then just keep tracking it. And on the chart, I'm not sure what I'm gonna say as a good entry, but maybe like 0.50. Yeah, 0.50, I think. Just to have something. I'm gonna put a medium rating. Attractive fundamentals. Fundamentals look decent. Tiny market cap, but seems to be well driven historically. Trades below book, have cash on their hand, and are generating both operating cash flow and free cash flow. 2 years in a row with positive earnings. Don't like the dilution, but they have had revenue growth as well. Big insider ownership from one person. What was it? 67%. Control of debt. Close to 52-week low. So pay attention to another drop in share price, insider buys, and so on. Just a little bit of notes to myself. So there they are at the bottom. Down 7.5% today. Oh, and I saw, by the way, there's something wrong in my alarm system from Seeking Alpha, and I looked into it, and I saw that they can't pull the information anymore. So I think I need to change this in a way. You need to give me some time to think about how to do that. But hopefully correct itself tomorrow or something. But today I can't use it. Okay, anyways, let's move on. Interesting, risky, tiny company. So definitely risk there. Let's move forward to forward. Big insider buy. The last 6 and 12 months. Forward Air Corporation engaged in provision of less than truckload. Expedited LTL and intermodal. The expedited LTL segment provides expedited regional, interregional, and national LTL, final mile, and truckload service. The intermodal segment provides first and last mile high value intermodal container drayage service to and from seaports and railheads. That was a lot of tough words for a non-English speaker. Anyways, they trade close to the bottom, 52-week low, 1% there. I immediately saw the insider buys here, 2 million, 2.5 million in last year. That's going to be interesting to see what that's about. Oh, it's not even from one person. Thomas Schmidt, he bought 1 million in August 2023. But then you have all these small ones that adds up also. Here's another million from this guy in 2022. But there's a lot of smaller ones that adds up a bit also. And they have bought from 90 to 63 the past year. What has the chart been doing? Look at this drop. That's a massive drop in July. Yeah, so all of these purchases are after that then. All right, interesting. But it has continued to drop. Almost trade where it did under the when pandemic hit now. And who knows where this is gonna land. Look at this, oversold. But it looks very, very tough right now. Especially when you have this drop as well. So the fundamentals, they've been buying back a little bit of shares and their revenue is up. Down from last year, but still up. Capex is a bit down. They have very little cash, but they show up as safe. They are paying a dividend. Short term 67 million and excess cash right now just 2. So that's a problem, I guess, that they need to figure out. They are trading above book value. They are generating cash and pretty good cash as well, and especially with dividend as well. This can be attractive for a lot of investors, but I think already that for my portfolio for this stream, this is not exactly the best fit, I think. That doesn't mean that it's not a good company or that you can make money here. It's just not right style for me right now. But I like the earnings, historical also, $4.50. It's not insane, but also it's something. And you see they keep buying stuff every year, together with decreasing the share count. But they have taken on a bit of debt, but they seem to have control of it. But right now it's a bit maybe worrisome, the short term. We can check if we find something on Finra. I don't think it's these guys. Pretty sure it's not these guys. We can check the depth here instead. Long-term debt, 120 million, roughly. $15 million current. And they add the leases in my sheet probably. That's why it's 67. So it's actually smaller than that. That's a bit helpful. And it shows up as safe, so I don't think they have any issues. But I was just a bit curious about, on this short term because of their cash position. But it seems to be higher in the filing here than in my sheet, and also it seems like a lot of that debt in the short term is leases. Credit facility expires 2026. What are people writing here? Strong sell. Oh. And that's yesterday. Okay. I haven't heard of this guy before. Oh, they have done acquisition again. Remember we saw this. They are doing a lot of purchases, and it seems like they have done another one that at least these people doesn't seem too happy about it. And it seems like All stock deal, okay. Okay. A bit interesting. Agreement to buy Omni Logistics. And it seems like there's been some mess with the deal historically. Deal recut but not favorable. As discussed when the deal was first announced, management and board purposely structured the transaction to avoid a shareholder vote. Why? Because management knew the shareholders would not agree to the transaction. Going forward, Forward is now saddled with a logistics company and debt directly in front of a weakening domestic economy, major strategic error. Senior management and board should be removed. Litigation against both parties should be initiated. And we'll revisit Forward in 6 months. This is recent, when price is a fraction of the current and the new management board of directors have been put in place. So yeah, people who follow the company are not so happy with the recent developments there. And we saw that it's trading close to the bottom, right? And it looks a bit ugly too. I would not dare to enter at this level, and especially if they have done an acquisition that they are not happy with. Gains on report lawsuit with Omni. So it seems like there has been a lawsuit in a deal that they probably won and have now acquired them, but shareholders doesn't seem too eager. And there's been some like hold and sell articles here. Now that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's interesting. I don't know this company from before, so when people are writing on them and I like the article and the style and I see that it's solid work, I can use it for my research, you know what I mean? But already here on the fundamentals, it doesn't look too attractive in my opinion. Needs a bit more. It seems like the depth was a bit wrong in my sheet, that they have control of that. But if they have now taken on depth or bought the new thing with shares, these numbers would probably change a bit. 4% down today. And I wonder what happened in that big drop here. July, August. Yeah, just a quarterly report where they missed expectations. And then came some analyst downgrades. So a bad period for them, but maybe opportunity. Maybe opportunity, but for me, I will not add it to the track this time. I'm moving on to NBR. Oh, hey, I sorry, I didn't see the comment. Nashkar, welcome back, Nashkar. I know you have been watching Dayne, right? Ranger Dayne. Oh, my brokerage. I use one from my country called Nordnet. They are from they are in Scandinavia, and it's a bit limited in terms of what I can do in the rest of the world. But I'm pretty happy with how I can use it for my style. But it's a bit more expensive to buy for me in USA, for example, than it is in my area here. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this, probably not. Yeah. We have similar sheets, NASCAR. They look different, but they do much the same, and the numbers are pretty similar. And if I remember correct, you were more like a trader, a day trader, or what? Nice to see you back, though. Feel free to ask some questions in the chat or pull up some tickers or something. But I think we have a bit of a different style, but it's still interesting to hear what you have to say about things and just get a conversation going. Small cap day trader, yeah. How's that working out for you so far? I rewatched streams when you were with Ranger Dayne, and I remember he pulled up some charts, and you were talking a little bit about the different styles and stuff. It would be interesting to learn more, but just just to be clear, I'm not a day trader at all, but I use the charts. But I'm no expert at all. I just have very limited and basic knowledge of how that works. I understand the day trading stuff, and I've actually followed one who has been really successful from my area. And also that's a bit cool with my brokerage. They or my broker, they have a forum where you can be transparent with your portfolio, and everyone can see your performance and stuff like that. So it's easy to see if you know what you are doing or not. And this guy is a day trader. His name is Maverick, and he's like highly successful on it. Yeah. It's been a bit tricky, but maybe not for day trading, but it's been a bit up and down market so far. My positions, some of them has been killed, crushed so far, but I wrote it in the description, but I don't think I said it. But I entered in BNED this week. I'm pretty happy with my entry there, and I'm a little bit up so far, but I'm looking a bit more long term on that. Ranger Dayne and I have discussed BNED in the past weeks on the stream, and both of us are in it right now. So let's see how that goes. But my GT, I'm also in GT oil company, and ALTO, they have been crushed since the beginning of the year. So I'm a bit like you, up and down. Yeah. I right now I only own USA companies. So yeah, and that's where I tend to look. Also in Canada, but I'm not limiting myself. I get to pull in from other places in the world too. But what causes a little bit of problem for me is that I'm not fully trusting the numbers when they are not from the States or Canada. Nashkar, how long have you been doing this for, and are you based in the States? So MBR here, Neighbors Industries, in the engages in provision of platform work over and drilling rigs. This is an oil and gas sector. It also provides performance tool directional drilling services, tubular running services, and innovative technologies. Okay. So they do it in USA and Canada and Gulf of Mexico, Alaska, it says. A bit high short interest, 13%. Nothing too crazy, but higher than a lot of companies. Low share count, but slowly rise has been increasing. Revenue is a bit all over the place, but if you look at the 3-year average, slowly growth now from past year, but down if you go back a little bit more. The share price is $85, a bit steep there, but and the cash generation is all right, I guess. And of course they have a dividend, this company. Seems a bit messy my sheet here, but they have some debt, but have paid it down the last years. Short term is something they have control of, I think. Very little in free cash flow on 7-year average though. And you see the dividend has declined over the years. That's probably why you get this opportunity now. Little bit of a spike up in recent times, but I don't know. I would have to wait and see here, but I'm not sure if I'm too interested in this company already. What are people saying? Debt concerns linger, okay. Neighbors' credit spreads in the 400s don't indicate debt distress. The issues trade at or close to par. The stock's been down because the market wants proof that shale production is rolling over. If we get that, fast new seatbelts. So some people are a bit bullish on some catalyst here. Interesting to see that this company has such a high short interest. Any owners? Miller value, 6 million. All right. And you see the margins on some of these are up. So maybe it started to turn around a bit, but I found it a bit hard to say where this is gonna go. They are levered. Let's just check the balance sheet here, because I saw they have a lot in tangible book. Oh, sorry, Nashkar. Let's see. Hold on. Ross Cameron. No, I'm not familiar with him or his style. Yeah, okay. Cool. Thanks for that. I will check here Ross Cameron and I will make a note. Jumping on press releases early pre-market. Yeah. Based in States. Okay. Yeah, I will pull up EVAX. I will pull up EVAX. Let me pull it up now and we can check it later. I haven't heard of the company before, so I think that's a new one for me. Oh, it's a biotech. I see. Usually I don't deal in biotechs. They are a bit too volatile and not really my style right now. I'm not saying that there's not opportunity there or anything, that I don't see value there, but right now, because of some bad decisions I've taken before I got the sheets and everything like that, I'm a bit locked up with my money in some of the tickers, and I have just decided that it's a bit too risky now for me to do the biopharma company. So I'm actually not too familiar with them, but we can have a look. I will just finish this NBR first. And I find it a bit hard to say much about this, but I don't really like it down here. It's not exactly my type of company for this portfolio, to be honest. But what I do like is they do have operating cash flow, but if you look at the 7-year average on the free cash flow, it's very little, and capex is up actually. But they seem to pay down debt, and that they have control of the debt. And do they have something on FINRA? We saw some comments on the debt situation in the articles. Yeah, they have something. But these are all right. So it's a lot, and they have structured it so they have to pay a little bit every year here now, and that could be smart. But how are these things trading? They were trading at par, right? That was the article. That, holy shit! This new update of FINRA is, I don't like it. I like the previous version they had. Look, now I have to do everything, and I'm not gonna bother. I use this instead. Yeah, they seem to have control of it, but it's still a lot. But they have paid it down in the recent years, and they do generate operating cash flow, which is good. And this year, the free cash flow was high. But it's a bit up and down here. I'm not gonna add it. I'm not gonna add this one, but interesting to see. No insider buys for a while. Now I'm gonna move on. I can do EVAX now, Ashkar. Oh yeah, see here's another problem I have with the sheets, because I oh, it's in Denmark. Okay. And see, you can see, Nashkar, that I don't get the numbers. So I'm sorry, but I cannot tell you much on this. I have too limited data set here, as you can see. So if you have another ticket, feel free to mention it. But this one, sorry, I can't help you with it. So Expensify provides online expense reporting and management services. Its service includes smart scanning, guaranteed e-receipts, receipts forwarding, and receipts apps and partners. Based in Portland, Oregon. I think that's Oregon. Straight away I see they have some cash. They have some cash here. How much is this? 66.5 million in net excess cash. Trades at 172, and look at the cash generated. It's positive also on the 7-year average. Earnings is down. No dividend, and it shows up as safe. And that's they have the cash, right, and last 3 years the share count is stable. Revenue a bit down, but on the average it's up. Not too much data to go off of here, so it's a bit tricky, but the things I have, I kind of like it. Short-term debt 23 million. They should have control of that. 12% to the 52-week low. Look at this chart. Doesn't look too good. I don't like it when I have so limited data. But I can see what people are, if people are talking about it. A lot of hold ratings. So the CEO is selling. Oh yeah, here. There's a big buy here though. I just think with this cash on books, they have opportunities to do stuff, and they seem a bit well positioned, but there wasn't so much else here that I liked. Yeah. I wish I had more data on this, because it sure seems interesting, especially with the cash here. But then again, if you compare it to last year, the cash position is a bit down. But they have also lowered the debt amount since then, just a little bit. And the share count is up. Inside is selling. This would need more for me, so I'm not gonna add it to my tracker. The ones we have been through so far, I found them in the daily movers today. And keep in mind, I pulled some of them up before market close. So they might not show up on all screeners, because stuff can happen in 1 hour. But these last three, FFGLT and MCFT, those are from my tracker sheet. So I have them in my tracker already, and I think maybe also EXFY. I might have them in the sheet already. But these ones stood out to me in the tracker today for various reasons. So let's start with FF. Yeah, it's definitely not a clean uptrend chart. Yeah, it's exactly right. They just constantly dilute their shareholders with reverse splits and offerings. Yeah, which is of course not good when you are when you look at the fundamentals. How does that work with day trading, NASCAR? Is that stuff you look at? Like historical dilution and reverse splits and stuff like that? RVSN, yeah, I will pull them up. Worth to take a look. By the way, if you're not familiar with Wise Sheets, they have they've come with an update. You have to pay a little bit more for it, but they have a screener function now that will. I'm actually using it to build up a new database. So far, I'm lacking a few things, but check them out. They have a new update now. Then I'm impressed by it. So I really like Wise Sheets so far. The RVSN. Rail Vision. I saw they have warrants. Yeah, so let's do FF first. So FF is a company that I already have in the tracker, and I kind of like them. That's why that's why I have them in tracker. I saw them now. They trade close to 52-week low, 8%. Inside ownership is 41%. Trades at 573, market cap 251, and the company name is Future Fuel Corp, and they are engaged in the development and manufacturing marketing of biofuels and specialty chemicals. And that's ALTO, which is a big position of in my portfolio. It's also in the in a similar space. It's not exactly the same, but it's a bit similar. And these guys are also getting like advantage from the government and stuff like that. So I know there's some talk about that, and they have cash here shows up at safe control of the debt. They do pay a dividend, but if you look at the operating cash generation, it's a bit down this year, but last year it's good. So on the 7-year average, it's pretty high compared to the share price. So I kind of like this company. It trades below book, have cash. Of course, here we see the cash generation here. It's a bit down. Revenue a tiny bit up, and on the 3-year average as well. But the biofuels market will be. It's interesting because there was some talk about here that the market has misunderstood the situation a bit. And this guy William Mattsson, he's a CFA. He knows his stuff. I've seen some articles on him from before. He has a strong buy rating, and since the article is a bit down, but the article is good in my opinion. He says future fuels biofuel production generates renewable energy credits. That's what I'm talking about. That were not recognized as revenue in Q2, leading to a reported loss. This was written in September. A nervous investor unfamiliar with RIN's accounting caused a 30% drop in the future fuels stock price. Q3 earnings are expected to exceed 50 cents per share due to the recognition of RIN's revenue and the timing mismatch. I'm not gonna read through that article now, but if you are interested in this, you should. This is like the he explains the situation pretty good in my opinion. And there's some good discussion here in the comments, I think. Bit old now though. But it gets a lot. Oh, courage. Courage is here too. We always find courage. What is he saying? Very nicely done. I agree with your thought process. Incidentally, last Friday at 6:70, I wrote a very simple piece to my investing. Yeah, that was in September. So who knows what these people are doing now. But yeah, I kind of like this. This is why it's in the tracker, but I want it even more cheap. If you look at the chart, close to the lows now. Here is the drop they talked about. And it has declined ever since. So you might even get it lower. And 425 down here is the historical low. So it's in a bad position right now as a company with their history. So right now, if it continues to drop, who knows where it will land? So I'm just tracking it. I have it in tracker and I've been following it a bit closely, but I'm a bit hesitant because of ALTO, my other company there. They're not similar, but they are a bit similar, and I want to diversify a bit more than what I have right now. So I tend to look a little bit in other industries and stuff like that. So, but for sure interesting, and there's some upside here. If this turns good, there's some upside here. Steady share count as well. Historically, even $1 in free cash flow. Now, if it drops to like 5, that's not too bad, you know. But I wish they get rid of the dividend actually down here. But I guess they don't. They kind of don't have to with the control of the debt. But interesting. All right. So NASCAR, let's check. RVSN. Where did I not pull them up? There they are. RVSN. Oh yeah, a bit similar. Not too much data. Based in Israel, is that right? Is this the right company? Saw them daily move 40%. Were you trading this today or what? Look at this. I mean, if NASCAR, if you got into this today, kudos to you. Killing it here. On the fundamentals, though, I can't, once again, I can't help you much because look at these numbers. Very hard to interpret anything by these numbers. Tiny market cap, though. I see they have some cash on the books, but the rest here is so messy that I'm sorry again, but I can't provide much value here. Obviously, it doesn't look too good here on the cash generation side, but I'm not sure if I can trust this now. Also because of it's a foreign company, so I'm not gonna trust my data here at all. Actually, I tried dip buying. Okay, at 150. Okay. So are you often looking at the like, are you often looking at companies like this and miss out on them, or what? What so that was stupid question. What I meant to ask is like, do you look at a lot of companies in a day, and is that part of your strategy to just like put in a fill order, and if it doesn't get triggered, you just move on to the next one? Do you have like a list of a lot of companies that you go through in a day, or do you focus on just a couple, or how many can you do in a day? Because I assume like you need to move quick here. Rail Vision mainline system successfully secures approval and certification and for EU railway standards. Okay. Yeah, sorry again that I don't know this. I don't know this company, and I can't help you much with these numbers, to be honest with you. But 40%. That's not nothing. I'm sure there's heaps of opportunities in other strategies than what I and Ranger Dayne are doing. But this works for us though. I'm moving on to GLT. GLT is also one I have in the tracker for quite some time actually. It's a paper company, so if you're an Office fan, you know Michael Scott. You would hate to be a competitor to Michael Scott, right? Especially with Dwight Schrute as a right hand. You're gonna lose that battle, that's for sure. So good luck to you, GLT. But they have been hammered a bit lately, I think, and they are trading now close to the 52-week low. 18% from it. There's some stuff I like here. It's a bit tiny now on the market cap side, but look at the revenue, steady share count. They are levered, so that's the thing here. They need to manage the debt, and you can see they have even taken on the last 2 years. And the cash generation is a bit poor the last year, but historically not too bad compared to the share price. Trades well below book, but not tangible book, which is what we care more about, you know. And it seems in my data set, at least, I'm not sure because of the historical dividend here, if they have actually caught it, but I'm sure you can find out if you go to seeking. There's been some institutional buy here, seems like. Suspending dividend, yeah. Yeah. So they've actually done that. But honestly, I think this needs a bit more still. Is anyone writing about it? A lot of hold ratings, exactly. That's what I saw. And they are affected by the Ukraine war, it seems like. So that's also of course not good for them. Capex a bit down. Retain earnings. And you see here on the earnings, also on the average, they are not making money. So and how's the debt look like here now? It's been a while since I pulled them up. That's why I need to refresh my memory a bit. Long-term debt. Revolving due 2026. 2029, so it's a bit far out. Term loan due 2024, that's done. All these are done. So this is a big one, 2029, senior notes. Mostly they're after 2027, so they seem to have some time to pay it off though, but if they are infected by the war and stuff like that, it's very risky because you never know when that's going to stop. And I guess the number since then has not been very good. So yeah, interesting to see, but this still needs more for me. I saw you wrote some comments, Nashka. Hold on, let me just read it. Yeah, because I asked you the question, right? How you do it like in a day. I try to jump in very early of these PRs, yeah. But the spreads can be pretty wide when the PR drops. That can be the hardest part to manage risk, yeah. I understand. So can I ask you what kind of resources you use? Do you have a subscription or on some website or something, or have you built a sheet like Dane and I that you can track things, or? Yeah. My criteria, it's pretty wide, but I tend to have a market cap focus like between, I don't go much lower than 50 million and I don't go much higher than like 4 billion, which is a big spread, you know, but my sweet spot is like 100 million to 800 million maybe that I tend to look for. And then for buying, I like it when it's close to the 52-week low in a percentage. And then I just look like, I look out for things like I go through here now on the fundamentals. Just the normal thing, the cash generation, the free cash flow, how they trade compared to the book value, if they have cash, the revenue growth. And then I need to see if they have some near-term catalysts and maybe some near-term triggers in each direction. And I kind of like it when they don't have dividend. I'm not too worried if they are levered. That I actually like it and prefer it, because that's where you get the opportunities when companies can turn around and get rid of the debt or start to pay it down. So I'm looking for levered companies, and I welcome it. But yeah, that's like roughly what I see on the fundamentals. Of course, there's more to it, but and then I look at the institutional ownership. I look at inside buys. I look at the chart. I lately, like the last year or so, I've been looking for like double bottoms, stuff like that. So that's why I track a lot of companies. I have a tracker sheet here that I add interesting companies in, and it has reached almost 160 companies here now. And this is where I own stocks also from this list. So I keep an eye on all of these a bit more closely than the daily movers, because I also have a daily mover sheet that looks like this, similar to Ranger Dayne. But when they get added to the tracker, I keep a closer eye to them, and that's where I start to look at the chart as well. And if they have traded close to the 52-week low, and then have a spike up, but then pulls back again. That's where it gets really interesting for me. If the fundamentals look then good, if you have some catalyst like a share buyback, inside buys, maybe you have news that they refinance the debt or pay down the debt or something like that. Guidance, maybe there's a platform that they are launching, stuff like that. That's when it gets really interesting for me. And actually, both Dane and I have went into BNED this week, and the case there is a bit like that. They have a platform that we think will make them enough money to pay down debt long term. And the opportunity came to us because there's an article of some legislation proposal that maybe they have to change the platform a bit. And the market didn't like that, so it sent the stock down 50% or something in one day. So, and that was actually like a double bottom a bit. If you look at the chart here, you can see down here. This is where you had some opportunity, and then it went up all the way up to over $2, and then it fell down to the same level, and this is where we got in again. So now we are hoping for a turnaround story, and that they can come with some updates about this legislation. And actually, I read through some articles, and they're gonna fight that legislation pretty hard, I think, because they can prove. I think at least they can prove pretty solid that this is very beneficial for students and stuff like that. So that's like the catalyst that we are looking for, you know. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. I said a lot now. Yeah, and I don't care too much about the actual price. It's more the market cap. I almost use exclusively TD Ameritrade when day trading. It's actually great for setting up custom watch lists, and the news feed is fast. Okay, thanks for that. I looked into some platforms and brokerage in the States, and it was a bit hard to sign up for them when you are not living there. I think even I was not allowed to do it in one of them. So do you know if foreign people can make an account there in Ameritrade? So yeah, GLT needs a little bit more, even though it's interesting here. I'm going to continue to track it. We saw on the chart, bit down, up again now. If it continues down, historically, it has not been so much lower. So there's some opportunity here, which is why I track this. But let's move on to MCFT. That's a boat company, sells boats. So yeah, I added these to the tracker a while ago, and I kind of like them. And once again, it's like maybe now is not the time you would buy boats and stuff like that. But if the market takes off a bit again, this will pull up again. I think it also trades close to the 52-week low. It hasn't moved too much since I added it to the tracker. You can see the rise here is not a lot in dollar amount, but the fall since March, like almost a year ago, has been somewhat big. But the fundamentals looks decent. You know, they have 2 years now with great cash generation. They trade above book value, but they have cash on hand and no debt. Well, they have debt, but they have control of it. And I can see this maybe like 35 to 30, 35 and more. if it turns around a bit and the segment, the sentiment of like the boat market gets a bit better and gets up again. I saw they have a pretty nice website with their boats, and they look very. They have different. They have different styles of boats. And you can kind of like design your own your own thing. And it's a great looking website too, you know. And I think they sell these wakeboards and stuff like that as well. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I thought they I thought the boats looked nice. That's not why I've added them to the tracker, but the fundamentals looks nice as well. A bit decline in the revenue. But look at the earnings. $4 this year. 3 average, almost also 4. So, you know, compared to share price, it's not bad. And if they can overcome the difficulties they have now with maybe a little bit of a slow sales and stuff like that, this can, I think, I can see 35. Yeah, I think I can see 35 on this. The company's long-term financials show modest growth and good margins with some long-term operating leverage. Mastercraft's full year 2024 is going to be poor due to the macroeconomic situation here and retail's lowering inventory needs as represented by the very poor guidance. It seems that the market have priced in too much caution as Mastercraft is priced very attractively in respect to the company's long-term earnings level. I haven't read this article because this is new now. I have to update myself a little bit here. But they had some hold ratings before just because of the like the a bit slow outlook. But once again, if they can overcome that, I think the sales can increase a bit and yeah, send the price up again to where it was not too long ago, which was like, yeah, 35. But I must say though, in my tracker sheet, I think I have like an entry on 18 or something like that. 18, yeah. Like down here. And preferably 18 is not, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna buy that just to alert me. So preferably I want it even lower. Because if you look at the upside and you see like it can go to 35, but 18 is it gets interesting at 18 for me. And I like they have the cash here, they have control of the debt, they are in good position if they can start with sales again, which I think they can. This is interesting to me, but I'm not sure if it's gonna drop lower than that, so that's why I track it to keep an eye on it. 2% ownership there, it's not too good. So I saw there was a fund here. 10% owner. Not so much else to look at here. Now I'm thinking it's worth watching this one. And yeah, I think that was the companies for today. I just want to finish by talking a little bit about ALTO. ALTO, I saw they're not in a good position right now. They are the price dropped below 2, and I'm a bit. So far, I've been holding on to that. It looks good, and it just needs a little bit of. I've been thinking that I'm going to be patient, but I'm starting to be a bit more worried than I've ever been before. But just because the management are so silent, they don't update anything after a disastrous Q3 report. So I was expecting them to say something, but they haven't said a word. So that's a bit worrying to me. And Q4, Q1, I don't know. But my horizon is more set to the summer. So I think I can manage if there's another poor surprise or something like now. But then the summer needs to be good. And the management needs to say something that I like on the next chance they have, and preferably before the report. I saw Justin, he keeps being bullish, and he writes a little bit on his Seeking Alpha article, but also on Twitter. And like I agree with his take on it, but it's and he also says that management needs to show us something now. But they don't seem to do that, so it's going to be interesting, because if they come out with some positive news, the price will go up, which will take off a lot of my worries right now. But the silence, I don't like the silence here at this price. I don't like it at all, and I think management needs to show us something and talk to us, because I'm starting to doubt a little bit if they understand the sentiment right now after the Q3 report, because that could have been avoided, and then after, when you don't say anything, it gives you room for speculation if they fully understand what they caused with that stuff. So it's very disappointing in my opinion, but let's see what happens. Maybe it comes some news tomorrow, and it will change everything. Yeah, incredible. And I saw Justin deleted his YouTube videos. I don't know how to read into that. Probably nothing. I saw he also tweeted that he will make another YouTube video if they come with some updates. I think he's waiting for some updates. And he said, like, if they update, maybe he will make another video. So him deleting, I don't know how to look into that. I'm probably overthinking, like, it probably means nothing. He on his Twitter he's still very bullish, on his article he's still very bullish. I think it's more him trying to be a bit more careful to talk about them too much publicly, and I know that he is like a bit more careful there and wants them to speak for themselves and not through him, you know. Not that it's been through him, but he has spoken very well about ALTO, and deservedly in my opinion so far, and he has done great work in his article, and showed everyone his thinking and his thesis, and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, but I think everyone involved is disappointed in management, and hopefully they can provide us with some good stuff moving forward, and preferably very soon. We need something. But yeah, a little bit of ALTO rant to finish the stream. Thanks Nashkar for tuning in. Thanks for using the chat. I'm sorry that I couldn't pull up RVSN and EVAX for you. like or comment on them in more detail. But that's how it is with these sheets. Sometimes you don't get all the data. But thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I think I will call it there. And we didn't find too much today, but we got to update ourselves on some of the stuff in the tracker already. So if you decide to do some research on your own after watching this, feel free to message us, and maybe we can pull up some of the tickers that you end up doing research on in another stream. And Dane and I will get together on Saturday, and we will have the next stream then on Saturday. So until then, have a nice time, and we will see you again then on Saturday. Thanks for watching.